Bourbon, is different than other whiskeys in that, has to be made in the United States. Corn's got to be the majority grain. We have to use a new barrel every time to age it. We can't add colors or flavors to bourbon. It's all got to come natural from the aging in the charred white oak barrels. We can't distill it at higher than 160 proof. You can't barrel it at higher than 125 proof. You can't bottle it at lower than 80 proof. If your product is Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey, it's got to be aged in the state of Kentucky for at least 2 years. Any deviation from those rules, your product cannot be called Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey. At Jim Beam, we use only the finest quality grains: corn, rye, and malted barley. The yeast strain that we use was started by my great-grandfather Jim Beam right after Prohibition. By every time we make a new batch of yeast, we inoculate the new batch with some of the old batch. Kentucky is perfect for bourbon. I mean, the limestone water that comes from the ground is sweet and iron-free. We age the Jim Beam White Label 4 years, twice as long as we have to. That gives it more color, it gives it better flavor. Being the master distiller, I have to inspect the products to make sure they taste good. That's the fun part of this job, tasting the bourbon, especially after a bad meeting. I guarantee you there's a bunch of worse jobs, a bunch of them.